record this anyway. So it is through sharing knowledge like this that we can actually break down those barriers. I want to please impress upon us that the idea that we as Africans should rely on the narratives told to us by those that oppressed us is very much part of what is actually holding back Africa from development. The fact that we are relying on many of the media that is created often by those that colonize Africa means that our thinking will not go beyond those areas that they don't want it to go beyond. And we need to think beyond that now. That's what I'm saying. We have to think beyond that. We have to visualize. We have to connect back to what our ancestors did before slavery. All the answers that we're looking for to build great nations will not be found inside the current structures created by the colonials. It will not be found there. We need to go further back to what our ancestors did. And we will pick out the bits that we find useful in those structures created by our ancestors, such as I'm showing you. Every time I'm telling you this, I want you to have this in your mind. That picture behind me, I want you to have that picture in your mind. It's an African structure designed by Africans and sustained kingdoms for centuries. That is doable. It's not a question of a debate, it's a fact. It is fact-based. There's no dispute about it. It ran, it was successful. If they did it then, we can do it, and we must do it now. That is what I'm here to tell you. And I want you all to really, please, take that on board. Please be part of this struggle. We need to really begin to visualize for the coming generation. Show your children this video. Talk to them about it. Look at the diagram. I'll put almost the full diagram on there, and I'll pin it on top of the video, or I'll share it in the post later on. That is the structure of Oduduwa Kingdom. Before slavery, before colonization. That is the structure, and it worked for us. And they came and destroyed those structures. They took away many of the things that you see in museums today in the West. That's the reality of what we're talking about. So we need to build. We've got to visualize for ourselves what our ancestors did and how we can achieve that. It is obvious that the structures that we are being told to believe in, what we call a democracy now, is nothing but an illusion. What we are calling a democracy in the places like Africa, in Haiti, and they are just illusions. They are not what they seem to be. They are not what they're telling us they are. They are just areas to ensure that we continue to never come together, build. There has to be one Africa. Europe has got 27 or 28 states, or maybe more, that are part of something called European Union. And they have one currency. Listen. Europe has 27 or 28 countries, and they have one currency, the euro. And all of them, they have free travel in Europe. They have free travel in Europe. They have agreements about how they will trade in Europe. They trade among themselves. They have subsidies for their farmers. All the European farmers have subsidies. So they have three things I'm showing you now. They have one currency. They have free movement. And they give their farmers subsidies. That's three things. These are things that is not showing in Africa. Africa has no subsidy plan for the farmers. There is no free movement among Africans in African soil. There is no we haven't got a single currency to protect our interest. Not one. So let me just see the message here. Okay, let me add. So if somebody wants to join, yes, let me invite my brother back, because I think we could talk some more. So if my brother really raw beat 661. We need to talk some more. There's some things he touched on that we can really expatiate on. But I'm showing you that map. I've invited him, and if he wants to come, he can join us. I'll see if there's others who want to join. I can invite this other guy as well. I've sent an invite. If you want to join, let us know. We will. I'll see you in the link, and I'll join you. I'll add you to it. But what we are talking about here essentially is that we have to know that our sugar. Oh shoot. Okay, let's see. Okay. I think the broadcast has gone down somewhat. I need to let it reboot. I think because it's been going off for 1 hour or so, it does go down. Oh, sorry. Okay. So I'll let that go down. It's cool. It's gone off. So we will be back. I'm hoping that will cool down and I'll come back on it later. It's somewhat gone down. But those of you on Facebook, welcome back. What we're showing you is the Oduduwa Kingdom and the structures designed by Oduduwa to run Oduduwa Kingdom. And we have to go back and study this, each of us. It might bring ideas back to us as to how we are going to build Yoruba nation and how we can connect this to our people. We need to show this to our children. We had structures in place before colonization. We had structures in place before colonization. And we need that message to run, to go into our homes, our villages, our towns, our cities. That is the only way we can build back ourselves. The current structures that they're trying to, for us to stay in countries in Nigeria, they are designed to keep us enslaved. That's the reality. They are designed to keep us enslaved. So I'm here to awaken our consciousness, to make us realize that quite a number of things that has been done has been designed deliberately so. And we as Yoruba people, we must address this injustice. We need to confront it, and we need to do it by coming together. There's so many, I've seen videos flying around of Yoruba social, those who are in the agitation supporting Yoruba nation, coming to us and fighting them among themselves. What we need, programs like this. We need programs like I'm doing. I'm not seeing many people talk about the foundation, because what we are doing here is looking at the foundation for Yoruba nation. That's all we're looking at. We're looking at the foundation for Yoruba nation and how to get it back up, because the movement has floundered. There are a lot of discussions. The people are talking and fighting among each other. This one said, that one said. We cannot proceed without having structure that many of us will come on board and actually build. And it needs our commitment to this struggle. And before we can even go and be talking to our Biafran brothers, if we do not have something strong in place, it's going to be difficult. That is why we have to go back to the drawing board. I've not ignored, if I have not been in touch with you, my Biafran brothers, in terms of working together in that way, it's because we need to try and build something. We'll still be in touch and we're talking, but we need those structures. There is no evidence that we have any structure on ground. Professor Adeniro said we had zero on ground. He said this live. He said it in a meeting. He said we have zero structure. Professor Adeniro said that. It is not a dispute. It's not. That's what and those are part of the people leading this structure who said that, and we shouldn't ignore that. I don't say that to castigate Professor Adeniro, because what he said there was the fact. He stated a fact that is indisputable by the evidence that is before all of us now. Look at Yoruba Nation. Yoruba Nation we are infighting left, right, and center. This woman is blaming that one is blaming. There is no clear lead. The pronouncements are made by one side and equally reported by the other, and the people are left in the middle. There is nothing that is, there is no forward movement with Yoruba Nation. This is an opportunity right now for us to go back to the drawing board and use this structure you see before you, the Oduduwa, the very Oduduwa name, the Yoruba land, the man that created Yoruba land. That is the structure that we are looking at on the screen. We are looking at the structure he created, and that structure sustained us for over at least a century. More. I'm talking several centuries, I'm sure. In fact, it will be several centuries. Several centuries. And we need to know that if that works, we don't have to walk too far away. We mustn't stray too far from what worked for our ancestors. We need to embrace it. We need to embrace it and then build upon that to go forward. So I urge those who are fighting and calling each other names and blaming this and blaming that and blaming, that is not going to give us Yoruba nation. The nation that we are trying to work for, to bring to life for the coming generation, to benefit from the resources beneath our feet, which we have in plenty. In plenty. Oil, gold, bitumen, phosphate, you name it, we have it. We have bucket. Now they're talking about this man. Let me get that story out. There's a story about what's the name again? Oh, sorry. I'll mute this one. Let me get that story out. What's it called again? Elon Musk wants Elon Musk. So so let's have a look at this. 1 minute. So let me, the battery for the solar cars. Elon Musk wants the lithium in Nigeria. So far Nigeria has turned down. I'm telling you all of this now, so we know what is going on. Elon Musk, in September 2022, a few months ago, went to Nigeria. Decided to, he says Nigeria turns down Elon Musk Tesla to mine lithium in the country. He wanted to go and mine our resources in our own country. The world's richest man has been denied the opportunity for his company Tesla to mine lithium in Nigeria. A lithium-ion battery is an advanced technology for Elon Musk Tesla cars. So, and what he wanted to do, he didn't want us to, in August, Nigeria's Minister of Mines and Steel Development, Olamide Kondegbete, said the country had rejected Tesla Inc.'s request to mine lithium unless the company were to situate a battery making factory in the West African nation. It's the same old story. When we try to build the Ajaokuta steel, somehow it's been moribund. When we try to get electricity, somehow it's been. They rather extract the resources and leave us floundering in our own land. And that is one of the reasons why we need to break up contract from Nigeria and go back to the kingdoms and build Yoruba nation as using the blueprint. This is a blueprint. What I'm showing you is a blueprint of what our ancestors did. Where is it now? Sorry. Let me show you. That's the blueprint. See? This is I'm showing you a blueprint of what our ancestors did. We can go and use that as a way forward. Who's with me? I want to know who's with me. How do you see the idea of using this as a blueprint? This is a blueprint. This is not the kingdoms, the names that we call ourselves today. The names that we call ourselves, Ogun, Oyo, and everything else. It is founded on this blueprint. This is a blueprint. It is founded on the blueprint of what Oduduwa built, the kingdom Oduduwa built. So why shouldn't we go back and look at that? Why shouldn't we go back and look at that? I'd like to know. Why shouldn't we go back and look at the foundation? So I'm going to come back and do this in Yoruba and talk to our people, and we need to really understand and really take on board what is being said here. It's not being said in an attacking manner. I hope you don't find what I'm saying offensive or but I'm saying that this is a blueprint. This is a blueprint from our ancestors. Ile-Ife, revolutionized by Oduduwa, spiritual head of Yoruba land. That's what he did. Oyo Kingdom, Oyo Mercy. That is a structure long before colonization, long before slavery and colonization, long before. This is what our ancestors did, and it existed. Now tell me, we've been in this contraption called Nigeria for over 60 years. Has it matched anything that our ancestor Oduduwa built? Has it? I'm waiting on. Has it? Don't forget, after Oduduwa, many kings were on throne. Many kings were on the throne. So that's evidence of success right there. What I'm trying to do is to wake us up. Should not be a difficult thing for us to look at. This is something that we need to really understand, conceptualize, and work together. This is a blueprint. I say it again. Let me come out. This is a blueprint, a message from our ancestors. This is a message from our ancestors. A message from our ancestors about the way forward. And it is a message that we should not ignore. If you're not sharing this broadcast, I would urge you to please go ahead and do so. Go and share it, please. Go ahead and share it. Very important. If you can share it, we'd really appreciate that. The battery is just somewhat gone on this one. We will come back later on that. I'm trying to see if it works. So we have to be very clear about what we're trying to say here. This is a blueprint from our ancestors. A blueprint. Contraption Nigeria now has barely been in existence for 62 years. Let me go and bring something out for you to look at. I want you to contemplate what I'm showing you now. I want you to contemplate what I'm about to show you. So, Oyo Empire. Let's go and look at it. Yeah? Let me see if I can find that Oyo Empire Kingdom. Okay, so I want to see how long it went on for. King of Abdullah. So Oyo and Ever 1625 AD. You see? Now I'm sure it's even older than that, because they found the bones of a Yoruba man in Ihueleru in Ondo State, and that was 13,000 years old. And where is Ondo State? Let's show you what Ondo. To see that I'm not telling you stories. It says so. Oyo Kingdom. I'll show you. Let me show you what I mean. So I want you to understand that is Oyo Kingdom right there. They found the body of a Yoruba man, 30 years old. They backdated that body to 13,000 years old. I want you to consider that. I want you to consider what I'm saying. That is how old we are. So if it's 13,000 years old and they found that he's a Yoruba man, let's go and find that story for you. So I don't want you to think I'm just talking nonsense. Yeah? Let's find it out for you. Yeah? Let's go here. It may be here. Yeah. Let's go. You see that? Ihueleru is located in Ondo State. Are you following me? I hope you can see. You see? It's located in Ondo State. You can see that it says Ondo State there. So let's go a little deeper. Let's dig. You see? It says here 13,000 years old, 130,000 years, maybe evidence of modern human pose. You see that? 130,000 years old. Can you see that? It's even, you see? Look. I didn't even see. I just, look. Please look at that. Please look at what I'm showing you. Can you see on the screen? Ihueleru. It's not Iwo. They spelled it wrong. It's Ihueleru. They said it's backdated. In fact, it's 130,000 years old. Even it doesn't lie. It's Wikipedia. It's on there. You can see it yourself. Just type Ihueleru there. It comes up. 130,000 years old. There's further evidence. The local scientists further said he was a man 30 years old, speaking Yoruba man. Cave of ashes. Can you see that? So, and how long have we been trying to build Nigeria? It's not even 62 years. As in Ondo State. So like I said, in Ondo State, look at this. Ondo Kingdom under Oduduwa. What are we talking about then? And you're telling me we cannot build the Yoruba nation? Nigeria cannot even, it's not even 62 years. Ondo State, they found that bones in Ondo Kingdom, which is what I'm going to show you again. Let's go back again. Found it in Ondo State. Can you see that? Yoruba land. So let's go back to that picture again. You see? Ondo Kingdom. Can you see that? Can you see? Is that making any sense? So tell me, and if they're telling you it's 130,000 years old, that's how old we've been in that existence and that land. Now, do you see why we have to ensure that Yoruba land rises from the ashes? It has to rise. It has to rise. I'm just giving you, I mean, I thought it was 13,000 years old for some reason, but I'm looking at it's in black and white before you. It says here, the Ihoeleru dates back to approximately 130 years old, 30,000 years old. How about that? Yoruba people, how about that? I'm going to do a program on this. I didn't quite realize I have to do a program on this in a lot more detail, because I did a program and I was saying 13,000 years, but it's actually 130,000 years old. And that is astonishing. That is frankly astonishing. And we had a kingdom, a blueprint. I will keep showing you that blueprint. Let me see if I can. So 1 second, let me get the blueprint back out. 1 second, please. I just want to get the blueprint out to show you what I mean. So, yeah, okay. So that's the blueprint you can see right there. That's the Oyo Empire blueprint. From there, the man that they found in Ihoeleru, from this kingdom, 130,000 years old. I don't talk my own. I don't talk my own. How una see am? How una take see am? Let's hear from you. Let me see if I can switch. My phone line is on. In fact, because now what I'm just seeing now, I didn't even connect this. You see, sometimes when you're doing things and you're trying to get information out there, things fall into your lap without you even realizing it. This just literally fell into our laps, and this is something that we cannot ignore. It is something that we cannot ignore. We cannot ignore it. We cannot ignore it. 1 minute, please. Let me just see if I can get. I might have to. I'll see what I can do. So please. So 1 minute, please. So I will come back to that one later on, because I'm going to try and do something. So now, so what I'm basically saying to you now is this: we have to have a rethink about what we're trying to achieve, and the kind of steps we need to take to achieve it, because this information is frankly stunning. I know many people are not watching, but that's okay. That's not the object of what we're trying to do here is to awaken our people. You know, we need to wake up. This is a blueprint. You're looking at a blueprint of how you build a nation, a blueprint, and I will show it later. It's a blueprint of nation. How you know, a nation that you build. You know, excuse me. And I am, frankly, more convinced than ever. I am more convinced than ever now that Yoruba nation is something that has to come back to life. Because that evidence I put before you is there. It is right, it's clear. Call in. If you want to call in on +44 7399 580 606. Call in on +44 7399 580 606. Call in. We'd like to hear from you if you want to talk to us. And I'll probably be back later on. I'm going to do a show about this. But what we're showing you is the blueprint. It's a blueprint of Yoruba nation. It is a blueprint of Yoruba nation. A blueprint. It is showing you the blueprint for Yoruba nation. And how we can, let me see if I can get this done. I'm trying to monitor what's going on there. So beg your pardon. So let me see if it will do it. If it doesn't matter. But I'm trying to just get this working and we can follow what is going on. So you're listening to the song called How Long in Pidgin English. You can download it on iTunes. I'm going to see if I can play you that song in its entirety now, on the broadcast. But I wanted to just touch base. What we're looking at now, sugar. Okay. So I need to make sure that we understand what is being done and how it's been done and all of that. We have to really, think about where we're going. We have to really plan a better future for the coming generation. Let me see if I can just mute this for a second. So we need to plan a better future for the coming generation. Sorry. So 1 second, I'm going to leave that there. I want to play in the middle of this song. I want to play you this song, the full song in its entirety. It's a song that I wrote, and I'd like to see if you can see your reaction towards it. It's on there, but we're trying to, make sure people relate to it and watch the whole video. Maybe that will make some sense to some people. But keep in mind that what we're trying to do is to awaken the minds of our people. That's what I really want us to focus on. So let me see if I can find that song. Where is it? Sorry about this. Oh, sorry. 1 minute, please. I'll get it up. Oh, okay. Yeah, not that one. It's this one, I think. Yeah. Okay, so. Okay. One minute. So I'm trying to just show you, because we really do have to understand and work out a better way of doing things than this. What has been going on now is really quite, I don't think it's something that we can actually, we cannot allow this to continue for much longer. We can't. So let's see if I can show you this stuff now. Not that one, sorry. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. 1 second, please. I'm just trying to find that track. But keep in mind what I'm saying. We have to build our own structures. We have to build that. So let me see. Build our own structures. And, we have to go and connect back with our ancestors. Because everything that we've been done now is designed to ensure that we don't really build something that would be meaningful or impactful. And we have to change all of that ourselves. So here's the song. My people,
nation, now your right you. How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? How long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? How long? Oh, how long? How long? How long gonna go this suffer? Yoruba land na your land yo. Middle belt na your land yo. Hausa land na your land yo. Biafra land na your land yo. No be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria, no be Nigeria. La 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 oh.
So, my people, I wonder how you find that. How did you find that song? I hope you find it inspiring. I hope you like it. If you do, please go ahead and help us. I'm going to pin it on the broadcast. If you do like it, and if it's something that resonates with you, please don't just keep it to yourself. We would like you to help us share it to people. Share it. So please subscribe to Citizen AY. Let me put it on here. Please subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. The song is there. You can get it, download it. Let's have a look. 1 minute, please. I'll come back again. I will do this broadcast. No problem at all. But I wanted to make sure we reach as many people as possible. Okay, so let's put it up. So you'll see come up. So we will pin that track on there. And the reason I'm doing that is because we have to really, the song has got a lot of intent and power behind it. Please subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube and click on the link and subscribe. We would really appreciate your support. Like I said, one of the reasons we're doing this is the most important thing is we have a blueprint that we've been ignoring. We've been ignoring that blueprint. And I think we should really all, what's the word? Work towards empowering our people with this knowledge. It's very, very important. I may be back in shortly on Oduduwa TV radio, depending on how if I get some rest or something. But I'm just bringing this information for all of us to share, to really be aware of what is going on. And I know the numbers are not there. That's fine. That's okay. But I want us to really think of what is going on and how it is that we are in a situation where we are. We have to make sure that we continue to awaken our people, because the fact of the matter remains that the Yoruba nation has floundered at the minute, and can I just check? Is that a problem right there? I wanted to just make sure. Let me just check somewhere here. 1 second. Is that a problem right there? No. Okay, maybe it's just Is that a problem right there? No. Okay, maybe it's just Okay, it was just a technical issue here, but that's fine. So, what I'm trying to do is what you're seeing before you is a blueprint of how Oduduwa built the kingdom, the Yoruba Nation kingdom, the Oyo Empire, the various constituent parts of the kingdom. You can see the layout, the map, and it existed until February 26, 1885. It existed until then. It existed. And these are things that we often, all too often, are not aware of. And we need to be aware of it. We need to be aware. We need to be aware of it. So we are bringing it to your attention. We are hoping you will find it beneficial. We are going to restream this again, but I want us to really think above all. The reason why we're doing this podcast is to really ensure that we talk about the need for Yoruba Nation and encourage our people to really begin to what's the word? To begin to have a belief that we can do this. Our ancestors, the map you see was drawn up by our ancestors. The administrative diagram that you see was drawn up by our ancestors, by Oduduwa himself, and that was how he ran the nation in this manner. He ran it in that manner. Let's go and look at it briefly again. I want you to think about it. So this is Oduduwa here. Now he decided to go Oyo Kingdom and independent kingdoms. So Oyo Kingdom, military head of it, all Alaf in Yoruba. Oyomesi was the prime minister. Bashonu. There's a man called Bashonu. He is the prime minister. He was running things on behalf of the Alaf. The Alaf overstood everything. So war and everything else, it came to him to make the ultimate decision. Now, and then, along with the Oyo Empire, he had independent kingdoms ruled by Oduduwa descendants. So the kids, the family of Oduduwa people, the children, Benin Kingdom, Ondo, Ichekiri, they had Yoruba. So they were running that and reporting back to the Oyo Empire. That's what you saw. Now, let's go back and look. So this is a blueprint. This is a blueprint of what we should do. So then he had the Ilari, collected taxes and acted as imperial guard. You can see that. So it's there. And then they were advised by religious bureaucracy and the Ogboni Council. So again, the council, those two men were acting as checks and balance on the Oba, because the Ogboni had religious and bureaucratic control over the king. And we know when they tell the Oba, if they open the calabash for the Oba, it means he has to go and commit. He has to go and he's not ruled the people well. So that's the breakdown of rules and regulations of Yoruba land. They often say we don't have anything. We do have the structure. That's a blueprint right there, and it existed for centuries. Perhaps 10, 20, 30, who knows how many centuries. And based on the evidence of the cave of ashes, where they found is the skull of a 30-year-old man, 130 years old. It's possible. It's possible. Don't just take my word for it. So there you go. So they advised them, and then you had the Benin Kingdom, Ondo, Ichekiri, and below that they had the provinces in each of those in the kingdoms in the Oyo Empire, and as well as those kingdoms: tributary states, client states, province, abduct polities, independent states conquered and used as junior gifting partners, quarters such as tributary states, kingdom of the Dahomey was even in it, such as Igbomina. These are structures that we need to really revisit in our thinking, and I hope we can look at these structures really cogently and understand. Then you had absorb policies such as Onikoyi of Ikoyi. So Lagos was part of that structure. Lagos fed into Oyo, such as Ilesha, again. And then you had the further breakdown from quarters into compound headed by most senior family member. So quarters, can you see that? So these are things that province and quarters, can you see? So from quarters to compound. So it really we had structure. And if we had structure then, why can't we have structure now? I'm asking, why can't we have structure? I'm going to come back and do this program, and this is going to be what I'm going to be using as a template, as a background for us to understand that we need to build Yoruba nation, and we need to build it using what our ancestors did. It's very, very important. Those structures are of immense importance. Don't let anybody kid you and say we didn't have structure. And what is even more astonishing is to have found, I don't know why I missed it. I've done this over, but somehow I missed it. It says here, it's actually called Ihoeleru, Ihoeleru. That's the skull. The skull you see there was found in Ondo State, 130,000 years old. Yeah. So we are telling you that we are actually, we are older than they are telling us. And these are facts and figures that we need to hold on to. So when I tell you that we need to ensure that those kingdoms, this is it. I'm showing you again. I'm trying to show you that picture. based on political diagram, the political diagram of Oyo Empire. The Alaafin was advised by a council of 7 chiefs, the head of which was Bashorun, a sort of prime minister. Are you listening? The other 6 in order of rank were Agbaki, the Shamu, the Alakpini, the Laguna, the Akiniku, the Ashikpa. These chiefs held religious and political roles. Some of them were heads of certain shrines. They elected new Alaafins either by approving their candidate submitting from royal lineage or withholding their approval. They had power to make the Alaafin commit suicide if deemed unfit to rule the people due to foolishness, weakness, or cruelty. Is that not check and balances? And you tell us we have no structure? And you tell us that we living in the jungle? I'm just showing you a power that was famously abused by Bashorun Gaha, who forced no less than 3 kings to commit suicide. Can you see that? So they exercise those powers. There's checks and balances in our system of governance. We shouldn't throw everything out. We need to look at what is being said here. I'm hoping this will awaken many of us. And I'm going to speak about this. The Oyomesi pronounced the new laws on behalf of the Alaafin, and throughout the year were mainly his spokesperson, due to the divine king nature of Oyo monarchy and the protocols around how Alaafin could appear in public. The Alaafin only left the palace about 3 times a year for key annual ceremonies. This allowed the rest of the kingdom to conduct business uninterrupted for most of the year. Can you see the structure? That's what we're talking about. Can you see the structure? When Alaafin passed away, retainer burials were practiced including certain royals and certain officials closest to the king, paving way for the new appointment when the new Alaafin was elected. Officials who were to die at the passing away of Alaafin were allowed to set their house in order before going home to die among their family. Structure. Now, this is why I said we need to pick and choose which part of what they did then we bring forward. But the important thing is they had structure. That is most important. And look, the gargoyles, I mean, when they destroyed when the French church was destroyed, they built it back brick by brick. That's their culture. We should be proud of our culture. And that's what I'm trying to say to us here. So let's go and read a bit more. So here, the royal kingdom included title officers, eunuchs, the Iwefa, devoted slaves, the Ilaris. The titled officials included the master of the horse, Onolokweshi, the chief Ifa priest, Ono Ilemole, the king's executioners, the Tetus, the palace surveyor, Ilemali, an orchestra of over 200 persons, the Isugmis, national historian, the police, Onamodeke, and various positions. The Alaafin had personal representatives in each provincial region, the Ajele. So we can go on. Role of slaves. Those taught history through the Western education system often think the word slave only referred to the status of chattel slaves as it applied in North America or in Europe during the era of transatlantic slave trade. They also imagine a treatment of people under slavery similar to the American or European forms. Listen, in Oyo Empire, Oyo Kingdom, there were various types of slaves. A reference to being a slave in some context was similar to being a loyal subject to the monarch of the land. Some of the most powerful positions in Oyo Kingdom were entrusted to slaves. It was believed that if a state official had no lineage to bequeath power to or wealth, such an individual will carry out his role in either royal court or the provinces with integrity. Can you see the reasoning behind the thinking? Can you see the developed thinking? Can you see that? And then someone would, why can't we look at this? We need to study this. We must study this. What I'm showing you here. There was the Onoiwefa, a powerful slave Onoiwefa, I think it's called, whose job involved standing in for Alaafin of Oyo in issuing legal rulings. There was the Osiwefa, another powerful slave whose job involved collecting revenues and to stand in for Alaafin of Oyo in dealings with lineage heads such as members of the Oyomesi. The Otunwefa, I think is, I hope I'm saying it right, was responsible for the cult of Shango, a deified ancestor of the Alaafins, which was the source of religious power and mystery of the Alaafin throne. Slaves were therefore involved in the political backbone of the kingdom. Can you see that it's important to understand the word slaves is very different to how it is interpreted in the European and the Western world. Particularly different. And they were part of the system. I'm not saying, I'm saying that so that we are very clear, because some people will run away with that and not understanding the context in which this is being said. It's very, very important. So in the military structure, there were the Ilari, those with shaved heads. The Ilari functioned as soldiers and the police force within capital, since soldiers of tributary states, client states, and provincial armies were generally not allowed in the capital. Outside the political, social, military power structure, there were slaves who worked as domestic helpers, farm workers, and other forms of laborers, as well as slaves who were slave traders and slave traders in their own right. Slave raiders and slave traders in their own right. Among the Muslim region of the present-day Islam, Islam had rulings on governing taking treatment and manumission of slaves due to backed earlier dates of trading slaves across Sahara and Sahel, as well as slaves created by wars, Muslims and non-Muslim states. The Hausa states, Kanem Bonnet, were big suppliers of slaves to both North Africa and beyond. But after the onset of transatlantic slave trade, also southern Nigeria, the Oyo Kingdom, Nupe Kingdom, Oyo Empire, and this present Nigeria. I'm just giving you a flavor. The key thing that we need to understand in all of this is this: there is structure. There is structure. Can you see that? Don't believe the lie. There is structure. We had structure, and we must continue to explain that to our people. So, with that said, I thank you very much. I'm going to come back later on. I'm probably going to do this I'll do this in Yoruba later on. So I'm going to copy that one so that you have it. It's on there. You can see it there. It's not a question of somebody just saying, oh, this and that, or hearsay. These are the facts as they stand. Okay? So I just wanted to just bring that to your attention, because sometimes when we talk about these things, people don't understand the importance of what we just said, what was said. So I'm going to put that there. So I'm going to show you. I'm trying to show you the thing. So this is the map. How the administrative governance in display. We can use that as a template going forward. I don't see why we shouldn't use that. So thank you very much for those of you who've been following this broadcast. I hope you found it beneficial. I hope it's been enlightening in some way, and I hope those who are fighting among themselves will actually, take steps to stop this infighting. The infighting, and it has to stop. It's not going to achieve Yoruba nation. Just talking about it alone. Let's study what our ancestors did before slavery, and then we can improve upon it. We don't need, this is there now. We can I don't see why we shouldn't go back and look at this. I don't see why not. Can you all see what I'm showing you? Why shouldn't we go back and look at this and study it closely? Why can't we? Somebody needs to can somebody tell me why we shouldn't? So I'm just showing you. I'm showing you what is possible. I'm showing you what is very, very possible and what we must do. So I'm trying to wake us up, and not myself only. I don't have answers to all of this with the questions we're posing, but I'm suggesting that there is a way forward for us. I'm suggesting that there is a way forward, and we cannot be quiet or silent about this. We need to collectively act together to be able to achieve that self-determination. It's very, very important. I'm probably going to be back in a little while. I'm not sure yet, because I need to explain this to you all in Yoruba as well. And what is particularly astonishing is that the Hiwili fossil dates to 130,000 years old. 130,000 years old, and we are only in year 2000 in this under this colonization. That tells you that we are older than what they're saying, and our nations and our kingdoms have been in existence far longer than has been previously stated. 130,000 years is no joke. It is no joke at all. 130,000 years is no joke. I want us to really consider that. Really, really important information. So I will be back later on to give a bit more update. But I want to thank those of you who joined. Please don't forget, subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Click the link, share the broadcast, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. This is where I will stop the broadcast for now. But please leave comments, share this broadcast. I'm going to restream it straight away on YouTube for those of you who may wish to see it as well. It is of immense importance that we do so. So we will continue in that vein. But thank you for watching. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. I have the phone line has been on, but nobody wanted to call in, and that's okay. Sometimes because of what they've done on Facebook, it makes things difficult. But we'll come back later on, and I'm going to talk about this in a lot more detail. We need to share this with our people. We need to understand many of what is being said now, and I want you to share that broadcast. It's very, very important. I'm going to go and share straight away as much as I can. And what I've shared, in fact, the particularly last half an hour of the broadcast is very, very important. It has very important information about the maps and the roles played by each of the people in Oduduwa, in Yoruba Kingdom, and how vital the role is. Yoruba Kingdom has existed for far longer than we've been told, because I'm telling you, as I'm looking at the picture, Ihueleru in Ondo State says they found the skull that you see in the picture. That the skull there was found over 100, it was backdated to carbon dated to 130,000 years old. 130,000 years old. You can see it in black and white. Type it in. The name is misspelled. I don't know whether it's deliberate or intentional. I don't know. But all I do know is that Ihueleru is in Ondo State, and there you have the figures. So these are things for us to ponder and to think about and to work out how we're going to achieve Yoruba nation. We must continue. We cannot afford to continue fighting ourselves and dividing ourselves, because a house divided against itself will fall. A house that stands together is indestructible. It's indestructible, and that's what we need to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, without much of ado right now, I want to thank you all so much. I'm going to have a break. I'll see if I can come back later on and talk about this. There is a lot of work for us all to do. Back to the drawing board, we must. Back to the drawing board, we must. We have to go back to the drawing board. And these are information that we are sharing. And those people trying to come up with ideas. We have to look at what our ancestors did well. And the things that we cannot obviously do now, we drop to one side. And we have to move with the times in that respect. We modify it. We modify what they've done. But it is an absolute blueprint. Let me show you again, in case you have any doubt. This is a blueprint. What you are seeing right there is a blueprint. It is a blueprint of Oyo Kingdom, as run by Oduduwa himself. Oyo Kingdom, and the breakdown, and that tells us how successful for centuries upon centuries upon centuries upon centuries it was in existence. Nigeria that they're talking about, we've not even reached 70. We've not reached 65 years, and look at the mess. Look at the mess and the suffering that is put around our necks. That's why we're totally justified in going for self-determination, and I support that 100%. And I continue to urge you all to please share this broadcast. Please don't forget, go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Help us grow this platform. We really do appreciate your support. It will be very of immense pleasure for you to that you subscribe and you sign up and share this broadcast. I'll come back and talk about this broadcast over and over again. We have a blueprint, and it's something we can work with. This is not hearsay. These are based on fact, on evidence of the governance, the type of governance we had. And we need to read this in its entirety from top to bottom again, and we'll have to do this broadcast again live. Because we need to make this message reach as many people as possible. So please, thank you for watching. Do share, subscribe to Citizen AY, help us grow the platform. Go to subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Of course, share this broadcast on Facebook, on Twitter, on everywhere you can share it. But we appreciate you joining us. So for now, what we want to do is we want to say thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back later on. So for now, what's left for me to say is thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. You're watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. For now, I bid you goodbye, and we'll be back later on. Thank you for watching. Please do share. Thank you, and bye. Bye for now.